40 years ago, the first human beings set foot on the lunar surface. This was a very poignant moment for humankind, as it gave us a unique opportunity to see Earth as a planet and to appreciate our place in the solar system. Such an occurrence provides inspiration for us to reflect on who we are and what we've become. To an outside observer, what do Earth and the human race represent? The space race seems to have highlighted the very best and worst of humanity. It seems that since the beginning of human civilization, we have been fascinated by the sun, the moon, and the stars. Throughout the ages, we have built both great archaeological monuments to honor them and shiny new instruments in an attempt to learn their secrets. The celestial bodies have played an important role in many cultures. They have been woven into our cultural fabric through myth, and we have bestowed upon them the greatness of deities. We live our lives by the rising and setting of the sun, and for some cultures, who follow a lunar calendar, the rising and setting of the moon. It's no wonder then that the first moon landing captures our collective imagination and serves as an inspiration for many to reach, sometimes literally for the stars. The space race has also stimulated our commercial sector and enhanced our lives with technology which otherwise may not have been developed. Early Apollo missions used computer-aided topography, CAT, and magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, to determine suitable landing ground for later moon landing missions. This has led to great advances in medical diagnosis and imaging techniques. The extreme conditions of spaceflight have also necessitated the development of freeze-dried and aeroponic food, cordless power tools, and hydraulic cutters. While the entertainment industry has benefited from advances in satellite communications, gaming consoles, sporting equipment, panoramic photography, and scratch-resistant lenses. These are all exciting new technologies which have undoubtedly improved the quality of our lives. However, not all of the space race outcomes have been as admirable. The first living mammal to go into orbit was a Soviet space dog named Laika on board the spacecraft Sputnik 2. Laika died a few hours after launch, most likely from a combination of stress and overheating. What separates her story from that of other casualties in the space program, and there have been many, both human and animal, is that there was never a retrieval plan for Sputnik 2. Laika was always intended to die. Somewhat ironically, the space programs which have given us our first distant view of Earth and an opportunity to appreciate our little cradle of life nestled in the vast emptiness of space came at the cost of our most precious resource, life. Perhaps even more disturbing is that this loss of life not only occurred through accidental casualties, but also through an intentional casualty. I would hope that the distant view of our tiny, fragile world would impress upon us just how rare life is in the universe, and serve as a warning that we must respect life on our planet and conserve the resources that support it. With our current global crisis of climate change, habitat destruction, and mass species extinction occurring, perhaps it is a good time to point out that none of our space imaging has revealed a spare Earth nearby, just in case we damage this one beyond repair. The moon, as our nearest neighbor, offers a unique vantage point to look back at ourselves and to ask, how are we doing as a planet and as the human race? Undoubtedly, the answer to that question is incredibly complex. The moon landing itself has been both one of our most inspiring feats and one of our most humbling experiences. However, perhaps the more pertinent question for the future is to ask what the moon can also teach us about the rest of the universe. There are currently some very interesting projects emerging in lunar science. At observatories around the world, lunar observations are being used to develop techniques which may one day help us to identify extrasolar planets capable of sustaining life. Earthshine is one such technique which studies sunlight reflected off the Earth's surface and onto the Moon. Recent results have shown that the light intensity reflected onto the Moon changes depending on whether it was reflected off land or ocean mass on the Earth's surface. This technique could be used to indirectly identify oceans and subsequently the potential for life on extrasolar planets. This own work contributes to a project which aims to detect ultra-high energy UHE neutrinos interacting in the lunar surface. These elusive particles are difficult to detect as they rarely interact in matter. However, this also makes them the perfect astronomical messengers as they can reach us unattenuated over large distances, carrying information about their origin. UHE neutrino production is associated with UHE cosmic rays, active galactic nuclei, AGN, and the decay of supermassive dark matter particles. So the detection of these particles could provide us with information on some of the most extreme phenomena and violent astrophysical processes in the universe. Both of these projects are still in their infancy, however. They may hold the key to unlocking some of the universe's biggest questions. As we gaze upon the Moon's craters and contemplate the footprints left by humanity 40 years ago, I can't help but feel a profound mix of awe and sorrow. In my view, this celestial neighbor isn't just a rock in the sky, it's a mirror reflecting our greatest triumphs and deepest flaws. We've harnessed its mysteries to birth innovations that heal bodies and connect souls, yet we've sacrificed innocent lives like Leica's in our relentless pursuit, a stark reminder of our hubris. The Moon teaches us a vital life lesson, that true progress demands humility and stewardship. In a universe vast and unforgiving, life on Earth is a fragile miracle, one we must cherish before it's lost to our own recklessness, climate chaos, vanishing species, the scars we etch on our only home. Imagine the heartbreak if future generations look back from the stars only to see a barren world we failed to save. But hope flickers in lunar science's promise from Earthshine, revealing distant oceans to neutrinos, whispering cosmic secrets. Let the Moon inspire us to unite, to dream boldly yet kindly, fostering a legacy of wonder rather than regret. For in reaching for the stars, we discover not just the universe, but the best versions of ourselves, guardians of a precious, irreplaceable spark. What more can the Moon teach us about ourselves, our neighbors, and possibly the nature of the universe?